done quickly so you can go home where it's warm. First of all, I'm going to introduce, in case you don't know everyone here, this is now your board of directors. Rick Benton, and if you would share the paperwork with people when they come in as well. Jeremy Ryan, who is our treasurer. I'm Teresa Faith, and I am the president. Jean Lieberman, is the director. Jay LeClaire is the director. Kelly Brigham is our vice president. And Sarah Martin is here representing CDI. Correct. I did have a sign-in sheet, but since there are so few people here, I don't know if we're going to need one for voting. I could pass around a blank piece of paper, and if you want to just sign in so we know who's here, that would be helpful. We handed out the minutes, and we only really have two things that we need to take action on at this meeting, and that is to approve the minutes and approve the treasurer's report. So I put those as the first two orders of business, so we can be done with that, and then we can get on to informational stuff. If you just put your name and where you live, that would be fine. So the first order of business is action on the minutes, which were handed to you. First of all, is there anyone here who would be willing to take notes for this meeting? Because right now we don't have a clerk. Is that a yes? And your name?
Gail. Claire.
Thank you, Gail. Do you need paper?
Yeah, please.
Sure will. Do you mind?
So, again, the first, do you need a pen?
No, I have one.
I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting from January 22nd. Motion. Anyone want to make a motion? Kelly? You made the motion? Okay, is there a second? I second it.
June 7th.
Did you have a chance to look them over? Are there any changes or corrections you want to make to the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Motion carries. Okay, I'm going to turn the floor over to Jeremy, who's going to give us the treasurer's report.
Okay, Florida also includes membership. So we got 6 new members thanks to the authority. So we're at 73.
You can use the microphone, Jeremy.
I'm having trouble like this, then I'll go.
You can take it off.
73 members in total. We've received payments of a total of $1,785. Total levy owed to us is $5,515. And tomorrow we're going to set up our checking account, so we start with deposit funds, and that's where we're at.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented. I move that we approve the treasurer's report as presented. Second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Are there any questions? Estimates report? Seeing none, all those in favor of accepting the report as presented, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay. I have your president's update, and I just want to give you a brief overview of what we've been doing The board of directors has been meeting frequently because we have so much to do over the next few weeks in order to meet deadlines. And we have elected officers. We've gotten reports from the city regarding water, sewage, taxes, electricity, and we've adopted ground rules, and just so we have, the ground rules are just to direct the board on, who's responsible for what and how the meetings run and things like that. So that's just basically setting up a corporation and getting things in order so that they move forward smoothly and everybody knows where we're coming from. We're going to be getting information in the mail. We're going to be doing a newsletter, and there are also letters going out to people where we've had inconsistencies. People who may have signed up as a member, and according to the city records, they don't own their home. And in some cases, it's just that a family lived there, and mom and dad moved out, and the kids stayed there, and they never transferred the home to their name, and, discrepancies like that. So, in that case, people are getting a letter saying, we really want you to belong to the co-op, but in order to join, we need to straighten out the records at City Hall. And I also have here a request for volunteers for committees. There are a few things that we would like help on, so that, not just so the board isn't doing everything, but also so we can get input from members about how you'd like to see the co-op work. So we would like to set up, we already have a membership committee of 2, and that's Wayne Savage and Bob Doherty, and I want to thank them very much for all of their efforts in getting members to sign up. We probably have the highest percentage of membership of any other co-op that I'm aware of. It's wonderful. And they did a great job, and I think you got to give them a hand. So membership is something that's going to be continuous. I mean, people move in, or we need people to, meet and greet and tell them about the co-op. So that's one committee. The second committee we would like to set up is a newsletter / communications committee, so that we could put some information together and get it out to everyone. And we want that kind of to be a two-way street. We want information going out to our members. We also want to get information from members. What's going on, what do you think we should do? What can we do better? What are we doing well? Whatever. And so we would like some volunteers for that committee. And if you're interested, maybe what I'll do is just ask you to sign up. I'll make 2 columns. I'll make columns here, and you can, if you'd like to sign up for a committee. And the other committee we'd like to set up is a bylaws committee. You may remember in past meetings where we were told that, these are our basic bylaws, and those are the ones that we adopted. But once we're up and running as a co-op, we need more substantial bylaws. And the ones that were, Milton, for example, their bylaws are like 27 pages long. I don't know how detailed we want to get in our bylaws. Do you want them really tight? Do you want them? Bylaws are what really the organization runs by. And in some corporations, they have policies and bylaws in the same document. In other corporations, they have them separate. So a bylaw may be, you're going to have at least an annual meeting. You're going to meet at least once a year. A policy may be, you have to keep your lawn mowed, things like that. So
help with those committees.
May I add something, please?
You may.
Yeah, but don't get confused, there are current rules and regulations in the park lease that we currently have to abide by, that will continue because they are either city or state, and so therefore, a lot of that stuff won't change. I think the truth is referencing is just smaller, more within the internal operations of the park, right?
Well, yeah, what they are, the difference between bylaws and community rules, bylaws, they are the governance of a group. So whereas community rules are your day-to-day life,
Yes.
the bylaws are just how the organization is run. And we do have I don't know how much of this you discussed with Jeremiah, but we do have a template for bylaws.
Yes.
As a starting point, and yeah, so it's not like you have to come up out of nowhere for those.
And the other difference is a policy, bylaws can only be changed at a meeting of the whole organization. And usually they're done at the annual meeting, unless there's something really pressing, and then you call a special meeting to address just that particular bylaw change. Whereas policies can be recommended and adopted at any meeting. And, you know, I know just as an example, we have leash laws in Burlington, but there are people that don't leash their dogs. And we could put in a policy that says, you know, if you don't leash your dog, then you're in violation of the policy, and steps, whatever, will be taken. So, that's just an example. And it's something that, we need to get done, and we would like your assistance with it, so. Feel free. So, I just want to say one more thing before we move on to open discussion, and that's to reiterate, we all got a letter concerning lot rent. And some people may have been confused when we were first getting together about whether or not they had to pay lot rent between now and the time that we buy the park. And we do need to keep the lot rent paid. And one of the reasons is it could affect our ability to borrow money to buy the park. So, just wanted to give a brief mention to that, and if anybody has any questions, by all means, bring it up. So, for the discussion, any questions, suggestions, whatever, if you have a question for a specific person, please, you know, address that personally. Otherwise, address your questions to the chair, and if I don't have the answer, I'll ask somebody who does.
So whereabouts is the account, I was just curious as to which bank or whatever they were gonna be setting up, the account for our, for that membership that we paid already.
Tomorrow, Jeremy and Kelly and I are going over to Merchants Bay.
Oh, Merchants Bank, that's fine, thank you. Oh, yeah, Stan Road.
Stan had a death in the family.
Oh, really? Oh.
Stan.
Another information you may be interested in, we're still waiting to hear, from Jeremiah Ward, who's applied for a grant so that we can hire an engineer which is something we have to do before we can determine whether or not, or how much of a bid we want to make. And,
I guess I can touch
we're
base.
talking, yeah,
He gave me some, it's from the Burlington Housing Trust has a grant that would allow for monies to be put towards doing a feasibility study, which is engineering and whatnot. And we still haven't heard yet from them. He didn't really give me a timeline, but it should be sooner than later that we're gonna hear from them. And in the meantime, we are still working on bids for the three main things, which are an appraisal for the community, a properties condition assessment, which it's when an engineer goes in and sees if what it looks like needs to be fixed, how much it's gonna cost, how long it's gonna take, and a environmental review, and that really is, that's mostly looking through the history of the community to see if there's ever a junkyard here, or if there was, I believe it was a farm or something, right? And like when, and to what degree, and all that stuff. So it's really just, it's more like a history report than anything. So while we're waiting to hear about getting the money, which should hopefully not be an issue, we are lining up people to work with to get this information.
And also, Jeremiah is preparing a questionnaire about the infrastructure. That's going to go to everyone, and it's just asking some general questions about water pressure, frozen pipes, and things like that. It's, you know, how your particular lot is. Do you have problems with sewer drainage or backups or things like that? And that's going to be going out at the end of this week.
Yeah, and those, as much as you can fill out on there, it's not a test. Like, if you don't know, you don't know. It's fine. But the more information you have, the better, because then we compile it and we give it to the engineers when they're doing the property conditions assessment, and it helps pinpoint certain areas that need some clear work.
And for those of you that probably, some of you might know, some of you might not, just for your information, when you're filling those out, they're gonna ask you whether you are a 60 or 100 amp service. All mobile homes do not park for 100 amp service. So just so it gives you a little information so you know what's what.
Yes.
How many engineers were, gonna get paid from?
Well, we don't have the grant yet, so we haven't done bids yet. We haven't
So,
put anything out.
you go to get a, so you're going to the loan, right? This week.
First, we're going to get a grant to help us pay for the appraisal, the engineering, and that sort of thing. And once we get the grant, we can request bids from engineers and appraisers, or, you know, whoever.
Are you planning on calling?
Could you-
How many are you planning on calling?
How many engineers are you planning to call?
Well,
I don't know.
there are several people, we generally, Jeremiah's not here right now, he calls around, or myself, and we try getting vague estimates. There are certain people that we have worked with several times already, or certain companies that we've worked with that we recommend, and so we try to help you guys find the best possible for price and who does well, or we get recommendations. But generally, it's not a whole lot of people that we're going through. I know for like engineers, for example, it's kind of hard to find engineers who do property conditions assessment reports.
Okay,
Oh, I don't have
200
personally have a list on me. I know he's been calling around, but it's not like a whole long laundry list.
So there'd be 2 to 3
Generally, that's
engineers.
usually how many for each we go to.
And the grant, what kind of, how's that procedure working out?
How does the grant procedure
We're
work?
still waiting to hear back.
Is that through the city or?
Yes.
Is the grant through the city?
So,
And the application has been sent in, and we're still waiting to hear back. We were hoping to have heard by now, so,
I mean, the clock's ticking, we just,
yes.
If
The
there
clock is ticking,
are,
we have till May,
there
right?
are other avenues to get money for a feasibility study. It's preferable not to go that route. For example, there is the group that's most likely going to be your lender, Rock USA. They do allow for lending to do these the feasibility studies. The downside of that, though, is that if you decide not to purchase the community, that money that you're being lent doesn't matter. You don't have to pay, you don't have to deal with it. But if you do decide to purchase the community, that money that was lent to you from Rock USA gets rolled back into your mortgage. So, whereas if you're getting the grant from the city, it's a grant for single loan, so.
So I'm just wondering, how long does that take?
How long does it usually take for the grant process?
You should be finding out, or we should be finding out like any day now, because it was sent in a few weeks ago.
I mean, like 2 weeks
Who signs off on the grant? Final sign.
Do you know the answer to that?
Yeah, so I'm Todd Rawlings from the city of
Todd
Burlington.
Rawlings from the Center of Utah.
So I think there are 3 folks from the city on that, including Brian Klein, the former assistant director at CEDO, the director of the Community Development Office is on there. I think there might be a city councilor on that. My understanding is that they've met once, and that they're meeting again on Thursday at 9 o'clock. And so I don't know for sure, but my assumption is that they'll be coming out with some decisions after the Thursday meeting. So my hope would be that you folks would be hearing, early next week.
Early this week.
Correct.
Is it the committee's decision?
Correct. Yeah.
If they okay
My
with the minutes
understanding
available.
also is that there were many more applicants than there are funds available. So I think it may be taking multiple meetings just because there's a certain amount of juggling around, various nonprofits, figuring out, who can get what.
Do you have any idea what the cost of these inspections will be?
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head what some were before, but I feel like your average, sorry, was someone saying? Okay, I thought I was talking about someone. I believe that environmental is generally around $2,000. The environmental and the assessment are both probably like $2,000 each, and then I think it's like $3,000 for the engineer, but I could be wrong. These are all I'm trying to remember from other groups I worked with. They were smaller, so but you're looking into thousands.
Any other questions, comments? How is the posting of meetings working out? We now have several places in the park where we're posting notices. Is that working out all right?
I just barely found out today, so I didn't know there was postings there. I didn't know about the meeting Friday at all. So, but now I know and I'm telling people
Okay. One of the issues we have is the cost of sending mailings. And, this is something else that the meetings that we've been having in between were board meetings, and they are open to anyone who wants to come and observe, but they are meetings of the board, so we don't have to send out a notice to everybody. And these meetings are informational meetings. There is a schedule set up about when these are going to be held. The board meetings, we don't always know right away when or where they're going to be. We're working on scheduling one for either later this week or next week. So we've been posting them. And if you have emails, please get on our email list. And if you don't have email, check the posting boards. I think we have 3 or 4 of them now.
I think there's 3 that we've been using, right?
3 that I know of, yeah. One by Bob's, one down south on B, kind of across from Wayne, and then one at the drop-off box at 1106.
So 42B, everybody wants to write this down. Then the south end of the park, which is the closest entrance to the bank, there's like a standard board. And then we're using the house, office as well. So those are 2 locations that you can find this information. It's typically posted 3 days prior to the meeting.
Yes,
So,
we try to do that. And I've also been putting one in my front window, just so if anybody drives by or walks by, you can see it there.
We also gave a flyer out too at one of the meetings that we had before the residential meetings. Of that list, it was either green or orange, so everybody should have got one of those too. And you're sticking to those dates.
I give it to you at one of the meetings over at Hannibal, remember to complain about the color? Don't have that.
so that meeting, the letter that's going out, it will explain where they can find those.
Yes.
So everybody we'll get that information.
So I would suggest if you're gonna have a pop-up meeting, put something in high visibility color like an orange paper, put on the message board, so if someone's driving by, all of a sudden they'll see a bright orange sign that's gonna say stop. What's it mean? But you also need to take them down too. And if somebody sees something up there all the time, they're gonna think it's the same old story all the time.
That you can just know as it goes by, green,
Right on.
illuminating,
Great color.
red, there's an emergency, whatever. Yeah, absolutely.
I still think you should have one at the main entrance. We could put up something temporary because there's people that walk, that don't go down Avenue B either way, and they won't see the sign.
Well, I had suggested at the bottle redemption.
We'd have to look at it. It's just difficult there because of the store being there and stuff. We just don't want traffic pulling and stopping and holding up traffic coming in and going out for that. So it's a safety, more of a safety issue than anything at this point. But if we could maybe touch base with them and ask them if they'd be willing to assist us in that, that might be an option.
Well, let's speak with Todd.
Yeah.
Live in the park, works there.
So I think it's a good idea or not, but it's just at this point, we have to be safe factor.
Yeah, yeah, because Linda Pagan, she never goes down Avenue B. Going from 22C, she never goes down Avenue B.
Yeah.
Or maybe if we could get another sign, another poster board and put it somewhere near the stop sign there.
I suggested to Jay, who was talking on the phone, they were getting a bucket of sand, with a 2x4 in it, putting it up in water, letting it freeze, it's a temporary thing to move.
That might work.
Quick and simple.
Pam?
Since we live in the park and we shop at Hannaford's, will they allow you to put any things on their bulletin boards or no? Maybe
I
not.
think we should limit it to the.
Oh,
Yeah.
limit it to the park,
That
okay.
could be a public bulletin board.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's fine.
the hope is in time, if we do purchase, we'll be able to designate certain spots and put on some
Right.
type of board, so that people know where to go and where they're finding information. Right now, we're just trying to
Right.
feel it out, see what's working, what's not working, so that's what we do.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe after we buy the park, the office, after we buy the
Yeah,
park.
after we buy it,
We can get
yeah.
some more permanent structures to put up,
Right,
so,
true.
you know, we kind of just open up and put in the new stuff and.
Sure.
that'll be-
Our goal.
Yes. Wayne wants it to stay cold, so he can put a frozen board.
No, I want 90 degrees.
We're gonna fall.
I mean, we didn't get a January thaw this year.
Yeah, I'm willing to buy.
Oh, we'll get it in July, well, hey, that's cool. Got your suntan lotion and your thaw boots, hip boots.
Questions, suggestions,
Concerns.
gripes, ditches,
Oh, gee, whoops.
accolades.
I have a question.
Yes.
My neighbor, Jean Burton, this was a question of hers, I said I would bring it up. She's recently got out of the nursing home, she became a member.
Oh, okay.
When things come up to vote, how does a person, if they cannot get out and are a member, to be able to cast their vote if they would like to? How is that gonna work?
That's something that should be addressed by the bylaws committee, because there were two issues. We were asked before about absentee ballots.
Yeah.
We were also asked about proxy ballots, and we haven't addressed those yet.
Oh.
And that's something that the membership is going to be asked to vote on. Do you want to allow absentee ballots? And there are pros and cons on both sides.
Right.
And do you want to allow proxy, which, again, there are pros and cons. So that should be addressed in the bylaws. When you get the bylaws.
I have a question for Gail. You said something about June? How's she doing, June
Can
third
we,
one?
Pam, can we stay on
Yeah,
task?
sorry, yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, talk about that later, thank you.
No problem.
Oh, the questionnaires, when I said, you know, gripes or complaints. If you would, please, I know that some people have a lot of complaints about things that are happening, or, you know, the conditions of wherever it is they live. If you would stick to the questions and ask people just to answer the questions honestly to the best of your ability, and don't go on about things that aren't addressed in the questionnaire, because the questionnaire is about the infrastructure of the park. It isn't about the conditions of the roads, or I have a tree limb that needs to be cut, or things like that. It's really about the infrastructure, and I know some people get tempted to, I know I do at times myself, go on and on about things that are a little on the sideline and not directly related.
And I guess it's important to also say that, if, let's say you have a sink that runs slow in your home, that doesn't particularly mean it's a constructural issue with your home. That's something within the home, you know what I mean? So people gotta know how to separate the two. You know what I mean? Because if everything else is working, then there's nothing under the home or in the ground. It's that particular, I mean, most of you probably realize that, but I get this question a lot, because it's what I do with, geez, you know, my water isn't going down. Okay, is everything backed up? No, just my kitchen sink. But everything else is going down. Okay, then it's your kitchen sink, so we just gotta work on that. But I just don't want people to think that it's doing any real thing.
Right.
And I just want to, so unless like your whole house is backing up, or you have no water pressure, or things like that, those are things you're looking for in the questionnaire.
On the questionnaire, can there be someone's name that they can call and ask a question?
Are they doing that? Are they
I was
allowing
seeing if
that?
it was, if they had it on here, but that would be me.
I thought they were just saying like fill it out as best you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have a question, you can certainly, give someone a call, and myself or Jeremiah would probably be, it's probably gonna be designated to me, but, yeah, cause, I mean, again, answer to the best of your ability. I have it opened up in front of me right now, that's what I'm looking at, but it is pretty standard, yeah, it asks if, and also in each, segment too, it has space for comments, so, I know, like, one of the questions on here that I really hate is, has your home lost power from time to time? Which, most people do lose power every once in a while because of, like, storms and stuff, but it doesn't really ask that specifically, so you can write a comment and they're saying, well, it's only because of this, or whatever. I'm also gonna be the one that's putting them into the system more than likely, so I strongly urge legible handwriting, and, but, yeah, if there's any questions, I can be contacted.
You also know on the questionnaire that it asks you for your name, and I believe your lot number.
And phone number.
And phone number, and I know a lot of people don't feel comfortable about putting their name on things like this, but we really need your name, because if we have 4 people that are saying, I have problems with drainage, and they're in 4 different parts of the park, well, maybe it's their state, as Jay said, but if there are 4 homes in a row, it may indicate that there's really a problem with drainage. So it's important that you fill in your name and address. Anything else that you care to bring up? Any questions?
Do you have any questions or concerns about rumors that you're hearing, or? I mean, I've been hearing all kinds of rumors, and people are asking me all kinds of things and have concerns and fears, and like, what are you guys hearing? Are you concerned about anything that you're hearing?
We're just hoping that we can get the grant, get the park, and be saying, well, we don't have to be here today and move out 10, 20 months later.
Yeah.
And say, well, the trailer's paid for, we gotta find out, do we sleep in our cars and shower at the where?
Share something that you do.
Yeah.
I don't know if we
Give us
really need to, like, start making more.
I don't wanna spread any rumors, but if you can quelch any rumors here, it may be helpful. I haven't heard anything.
I haven't
Other
heard
than-
anything, which is unusual, cause I usually do, and I have
I mean,
not.
there've been a few things written on Facebook that people,
I've heard,
we're
that's the
confused
rumor
about,
that
but-
I've heard, there's a lot of crap being put on there, and know who's doing it, but you're making us look like fools. We're trying to buy a park and the things that, I don't know what's being said, cause I don't have a computer, but from what I'm hearing, it's
You're not
not
missing
good.
anything.
That's for sure, that's for sure.
And I
Yes,
don't believe
Jean.
everything I hear, cause I haven't seen it, but
Yeah,
more than one person has spoke on it.
I want to address that. I have been, as far as Facebook goes, I've been lurking, meaning I'm following it to an extent, but after the first misunderstandings, I've stayed away. And in order to do good business, Jeremy's got us hooked up with email and a group so that we can, the board can communicate with each other. And I think that as time goes on, we know who has email, we can have really above board good discussions. And then people who don't have email, we can figure those out. We'll be able to, there are probably fewer of those. We'll be able to talk to them.
Yeah, I don't have a computer because of that, never like
Yeah,
that
so we
kind
talk
of
to
stuff,
individuals, so we talk to individually.
I figure if I have something to say to somebody, I'll go to that person and speak to them. You know, I don't need everybody in the world reading what I have to say
Face
to
rather
that
than
person.
Facebook.
So during our walking around, we have a lot of people asking us who can we contact if we have questions, and I suggested several times, we should have a list. Bob and I can walk around and hand it out to all these members of what your positions are and how they can contact.
And that's going out in the newsletter. That is going to be included in the newsletter. And if you want it now, we can send around a piece of paper for it.
I don't really know.
I know. I think most people know where we are. They don't know who we are. Yeah.
Nor you me.
Basically, we're trying to, there are priorities been set, and we have deadlines, as everybody knows, and we're trying to just hit what we need to do, the most important first, and not get totally swamped and bogged down and trying to do everything at the same time. So I think we've made a lot of progress so far. Again, we're trying to have meetings every week while we're getting this off the ground, and I can't stress enough how important it is to have good, solid feedback, because the co-op is the membership, it's all of us. So we need to, while the board may do certain work, we can't do what we need to do if it isn't a real community with everybody's feedback.
I think a lot of people feel they're being left out because they don't know what's going on. Even though they don't want to come to the meeting, they would still like to know who's what and how they can reach somebody if they have questions.
And especially for the newsletter is going to, first of all, bring everybody up to date on what's happening, who hasn't come to meetings, and also have points of contact, and a request to please be involved. Because it will be us, not the board and the public, it's us, it's all of us.
And we also put a brief article in the North Avenue News that listed the names of all board members. We didn't put the phone numbers, obviously, but we have the names of all board members in that article. So, and, you know, one of the few things I heard was that some people are concerned that they're not hearing what's going on. And some people, no matter how hard we try, some people are going to feel that the board is doing things in quiet, you know, behind closed doors. And if you would please reassure them, our board meetings are always open to any member who wants to come. You don't have voting rights, but you can come, you can observe, you can ask questions, and you can hear what we're working on. And I would encourage people to do that so they stay informed. We don't have the structure yet to do like a weekly newsletter or a monthly newsletter. We're just getting off the ground. And it's very hard, and I'm sort of having deja vu because all the years I was involved in my union, I heard the exact same thing. And we had over 6,000 members. And if sometimes people have to take the responsibility to get the information they need. They need to either go to a meeting or talk to a board member or talk to their neighbor who went to a meeting to find out what's going on, because there are 7 of us. We cannot go around to everyone after every meeting and say, this is what happened. cooperative, the co-op is all of us. And we need to know that we're doing what you want us to do. You know, we may see things one way and you may see things another way, and unless we know about it, we're gonna do things the way we see it. What we think is best. And
The other thing is that when we get down the line a little bit, and, by the way, we are a formal we got incorporated.
Yes.
So we're the North Avenue Cooperative Incorporated, a nonprofit. But as we go down the line and the membership will have voting rights, you know, it's like any voting rights, you need to be informed. So people, we and you and all of us will need to make sure that as many members as possible are fully informed. So, first of all, we're going to decide what to vote on, and second, how to vote. And it's up to all of us to stay informed and to keep each other informed.
Did you include that in the newsletter? Something we can hand out?
Yeah, I'm trying, our first newsletter is not exactly.
I don't think Teresa's finished it.
Yeah, no. I think
it's in draft form. We were going to try to put something together to finish it off tonight and get it to Jeremiah tomorrow, so that we can get it out to everybody in his name.
We can get something written up to, tell people why they need to come. Bob and I can go around kicking people's doors. Maybe
It's
next
supposed to
meeting.
go out for infrastructure survey.
Yeah, it's gonna be mailed.
This was gonna be mailed.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot.
Standing when an issue comes up and needs to be voted on, and whatever goes out to the members within the park, it will say what the issue is and such.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, the next thing that comes to mind that we'll be voting on would be the adoption of bylaws. And the meeting would be warned specifically for that, because, as I said, once we're up and running, the general membership is only required to meet once a year to vote on things. But until we're up and running, there are other things that have to be done first, and one is the adoption of bylaws. So you would get a notice that says special meeting of the members, and that would be for members only, because only members can vote. And, you know, you get bylaws and we go through them and hash them over and amend if needed and adopt them.
Or we could put in, don't you see, it's very important that you can tell them succession during the first few months. Before you try to reorganize.
And this is where my question comes in. There are members that wanna come, but they're kinda laid up and can't get here, but they do wanna cast a vote. But you don't want people just saying, oh, I can't make it, and just don't come and just wanna sign a page, no. Then we don't know what's happening, and who's signing what.
Combination,
It's,
I'm sorry. We're doing a combination of regular mail, snail mail, and email, and door-to-door, and putting up these, at least for the winter structures, to post information. So I think we're trying to get to approach it from different angles, different prongs, and try to get everybody one way or another. So we are definitely trying to get information out as soon as we can and as much of it as we can.
Yeah, but that wasn't my question earlier was to Teresa, and she said we had to set up the bylaws.
For the
Some-
absentee
like,
voting.
Yeah, but sometimes people are just absentee, don't wanna come and they wanna hear it from somebody else. Now, there's people that actually would like to come, and there are times that they just cannot. I get laid up sometimes, and I can't, but I am interested. And sometimes that vote makes a difference. And why am I gonna be a member if I can't exercise my right?
Yeah, we just gotta come up with some
Yeah,
guidelines.
But I mean, it has to be something solid, you can't, I can't.
Generally,
come.
in the full set of bylaws, like I was just looking through the interim ones to see if it says anything, it doesn't say anything about proxy voting
No.
at all, but the general, when you get the full set, there is generally a section on absentee and proxy voting, and there are very specific rules, like if it's an election meeting, you have to submit your vote, or if you're gonna be an absentee voter, you have to mail it in by this date or whatever, but there are guidelines for people who can't make it. Right now, I mean,
You
nothing this,
understand about the proxy, because you don't wanna give up your,
it's, right now, it's kind of, I think more discussion needs to be had in the interim before those final bylaws are set, if people can't in that situation, because it doesn't say anything about it in the
Right.
bylaws, so it doesn't mean you can't do it. So it's just, but that's another discussion we had. But in the final bylaws, when when it's official, that will definitely be in
I'm
there.
not as old as some, but we have a lot of elderly within, and they probably can't get here. But they do have an opinion.
Yeah, no, that definitely, I mean, the idea is to have everyone included, so.
People at work, right?
That too. I got one that gave me my rights and I wouldn't be here, and he's supposed to be at work right now.
Well, I can take you home if you need a ride, that's not a problem. But, you know, something else to consider, until we adopt the bylaws, there's no absentee voting, so that's gonna be the next, you know, we've gotta look at that. And whether or not someone is voting by absentee ballot, they have to know in advance just what's being voted on. And
Right.
if anything is moved from the floor, they can't vote on that because they're not here to hear it and they're not, you know, the discussion.
Yeah, I
So-
ran it all
So there are,
through my head,
there are,
like how are you
there's
gonna
give and
do
take on
that?
both
Yeah.
sides, you know, there's pros and cons for that, so.
Yeah.
And like bylaws, you know, somebody may say, okay, I wanna vote yes on this bylaw, but when we get to the meeting, the bylaw gets amended.
Yeah, that's not
So-
like one single issue, bylaws, that's a lot of
That's a lot,
different
that's-
separate.
Well, one particular item could get amended, therefore changing it, so it would be a different vote.
I
Right.
believe though, and I could be wrong on this, but I think if you are, say, in order to change the bylaws, you have to mail it out to everyone within, I think, 10
Yeah.
days before the vote,
Yeah.
whatever it is. If at the meeting you choose to change something, I think you have to go through the process again. I think you have to send them out, so I don't think you can change them on the spot. I could be wrong, but from,
I think that depends on how it's written in the bylaws.
Also the type of change, if it's
Yeah.
a minor change, you
Oh,
gotta do it
yeah.
before, if it's gonna be substantive, then it's only fair to.
Redistribute.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's,
So the bylaws committee obviously has a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah.
And I
And
think you
hope
should
we
be
got
on it.
volunteers.
Huh?
And I think you should be on it.
Oh, I was in a day, me,
Yeah?
I'm sick too much to be on anything, that's why I didn't raise my hand during the board. Cause I have a lot to say, I like to do different things, but I don't have a computer, so I can't do things that you ladies or gentlemen can do, cause I've never been on a computer. I know nothing, and I'm like, how am I gonna do anything to help anything? So I didn't offer.
If it were-
That I got a mouth. That I could do.
Yeah, just the paper I sent you, yes, Howard.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I just had a question about deadlines. So my memory was that the deadline for executing the purchase and sale, at one point it was May, but is that still correct? Is it mid-May?
May 22nd.
Yeah.
May 22nd, okay. And so I guess my question, follow-up question for CDI is, based on your experience, you know, doing many of these kind of deals, how do you feel like we're doing so far in terms of meeting what we need to do in order to get to that next stage? Are we okay?
so far so good. It's,
Okay.
yeah, just a matter of, getting that grant money and being able to do the feasibility research, which actually, I mean, right now, there's not a whole lot you can do engineer-wise because of the snow and such, but right now, everything's right on track.
Okay. And just to let folks know here, I did some research in the land records and in the zoning records and the assessor's records. These are all public records for any of us to look at. I'm going to be giving those to CDI later, but if anyone's interested in any of these documents, please take a look. It has the most recent survey of the parcel, which is, the most recent one is from 1966. So it might make you smile a little bit, but yeah, just
attendance. If you haven't signed up, please do so, so we know who's here. And if you haven't signed up to volunteer for a committee, please do so. Any questions or concerns, or? Go home and warm up, snuggle up, put on your jammies. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Wait, what did he, what did he say? I didn't hear what he said.
Well, you know, Farrington's, one of the great joys of Farrington is through me, is that it accepts pets.
Do I have a motion to
I
adjourn?
move that we adjourn, if there's no further.
Sam seconds.
We'll second the motion if you're ready and if you feel we covered and
Unless
accomplished
you
what we
have
need
questions,
to
there's
tonight.
no point for you.
Well, let's see.
As much as I love looking at your lovely faces
Oh,
smiling
gee,
at me.
thanks, honey. And when Todd mentioned the year 1966, I'm thinking I was only 14 and she was a baby in 66. She was a newborn. I was only 14. I was still in junior high school, then.
Thank you for coming,
Oh,
everybody.
you're welcome.
We're gonna set a date for our next board meeting, and we'll put the notices on the posting board.
Farrington's owns right up to here. They lease this partial right here. It goes back, I forget, it's something stupid like 14 feet and it starts back.
Well, this is North Ave right here, right?
Yes,
And then these are, there's just some single family homes and
on North
right
Avenue,
here.
and this guy's right here. Yeah, it's, you know, this was obviously, we call this the maintenance yard, even though the flower shop sits there, because that's where we store a lot of our equipment and stuff.
Is that the kind of like rundown looking house?
Flower shop right here, there used to be a big greenhouse that came out this way now. Those have been torn down. Pretty accurate. This is probably the most accurate map you're gonna have to date. At 40, you're missing. Other than that, that's why these lots look the way they do. Because they have two singles left, and this is used to be 16, 18. It's actually 18. This used to be, you know, 19, 17, 19. But there was a big garage here at one time.
So this was in the zoning record, so it was attached to a zoning permit.
Yeah.
So what was the permit for? What was the, in other words, what was the purpose of you doing this map?
Just to update the records.
Oh, okay.
For
Good.
Farrington.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As well as the water, sewer, electrical, they've all been updated to accuracy.
Stan found one of the irons. He knows where one of the irons is.
Yeah?
But only one.
Up in the path, right?
I think so,
Yeah.
One of the irons?
Yeah, for the survey, whenever the last official survey, they should have irons.
Oh, I
around
think that's
here.
what this is.
So, yeah, but
66.
apparently the other irons have disappeared.
Oh,
I mean, the
yeah.
actual ones, not so.
Right,
He
the
found
little-
yeah, the irons with the little flags on it, and he.
Is there one home in here that's like a two-family unit or something? Like there's, when I was walking by, it looked very large.
There are double ones.
But it was more than double wide. It was like, it almost looks like from the front, like it could be like a community building sort of thing.
Marshall built, is it on the end and there's like a trailer and then a separate building coming off of it with a, because Marshall has a separate building with a living room.
On Avenue C, they were allowed years ago to put large additions on,
Yeah.
which
I'm just
is
wondering if
nice
that's
to
what-
do so, but the problem with that is when you have to remove them, it makes it much bigger.
Are you talking about it's visible from North Ave?
I think so, yeah, because I think it's,
Oh, it
I
is.
think
It's a
it's
single family
somewhere
house,
here.
right?
Okay.
Oh, no, it's like a modular or something.
Oh, okay.
It's,
There's no modulars, they're just
or well,
doubles.
When you first come into the park,
Uh-huh.
there's a big double wide that was just put up a couple of years ago.
18 on the
does
corner.
it, and I think it had,
Porch,
yeah.
with a ramp, yeah, that's a double wide. Yeah, it's very big. I was in it, once, and, it's really big.
When Jeremiah and I first drove through the park, we saw that, and he was like, oh, that looks like a community space.
Well, 25 and 27 no longer exists. It's 25, but there is a huge double in it. I mean, that's probably what you're talking about. It's got a big wheelchair ramp. Or
Yeah.
It's bigger than the other double wide.
So,
We have to schedule our next meeting, guys. Can we do that?
yeah, yours is a unique unit. That was designed for Texas, not for.
I know, but that's where it came from, and that's why I can't keep my place
That's
warm.
fine. Only for the simple fact of giving them a general idea of how many they're gonna be utilizing in the park. I remember what Jim said. But to this day, it's pretty accurate, other than a few.
Where's my trailer at? I'm over here.
I think they wanna just take you for a second, so.
Oh, they want the board, I need that.
I just wanna see it.